Hello my crafty friends. Today I have two easy fun fold cards to share featuring a fun bundle of products and some new pretty patterned papers. Hi, it's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this episode of Stamptastic TV, I have two easy fun fold cards to share with you. We will start with a basic design for the first card, and then we will take that same design and change it up just a bit to create the second card. Now the cards feature the new Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper and the Under My Umbrella bundle. However, keep in mind you can use any supplies you have on hand to create these cards. Just get creative with it. By the end of this video, you will have two easy fun fold card ideas that are sure to wow your family and friends. For the latest card making ideas, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click on that little bell so you will be notified each time I upload a new video. Okay, so first let's talk about some of the supplies that I'm using to create these cards. Now the cards in this video feature the new coordination product called Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. And I will also be using the Stampin' Up! Under My Umbrella bundle. So the bundle comes with a stamp set and a punch. Now the umbrella punch is one of 4 different punches you can use to cut out the shapes in the new Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. For a complete supply list and all of the step-by-step instructions for these cards, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. And as an added bonus, if you shop with this month's host code, I will send you an additional printable tutorial with the 18 cards featured in my latest video. Now you can find the host code and additional information about the bonus tutorial in the description below this video. Okay, for this first card, we are going to create a little fun fold flap that will actually become the focal point of our card front. So you're going to start with a piece of balmy blue cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5 inches. Score the 8.5 inch side at 4 1/4 inches to create the base of the card. Next, cut a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of patterned paper and adhere it to the card front. Cut a 1 by 5.5 inch piece of balmy blue cardstock and score it in the middle at 2 3/4 inches. Now go ahead and open up the card. We are going to be adhering half of the 1 inch strip of balmy blue cardstock to the inside of the card. The other half of the balmy blue cardstock piece will wrap around to the front of the card. Now fold that cardstock piece in half and add some adhesive to the back of one of the halves of the 1 inch wide balmy blue cardstock piece. Take that 1 inch scored piece and slide it onto the side of the card front so that the adhesive is facing the inside of the card. Position the 1 inch piece so that it's in the middle of the card front. Once you have it positioned, close the card. When you open the card, that little 1 inch flap will be perfectly positioned. Pretty cool, right? Okay, now let's finish decorating it. Cut 2 rectangular shapes for the front of the card. You're going to cut a 2.5 by 3 5/8 inch shape from a piece of balmy blue cardstock and a 2 by 3 1/8 inch rectangular shape from a piece of white cardstock. Or you can use the Stitched So Sweetly layering dies to create these two pieces, which is what I did here. Now lay the balmy blue rectangular shape in the center of the card front. Adhere the 1 inch flap to the center of this shape. Now stamp a sentiment on the top part of the white rectangular shape that you cut. Adhere the white rectangular shape to the balmy blue rectangular shape. Now note that this piece will secure the end of that fun fold flap in place. Embellish the white cardstock with a little umbrella image and some small flowers cut from a piece of the new Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. Okay, let's open up the card and finish decorating the inside. Cut a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of white cardstock. Stamp a sentiment in the center using Highland Heather ink. Now go ahead and adhere that white piece of cardstock to the inside of your card. Then for the finishing touch, embellish it with a few flowers cut from the patterned paper. So there you go. We have just created our first fun fold card. So what did you think? Was it pretty easy? Leave me a comment below. I would love to know your thoughts. Okay, for this next card, we will use the same card design, but with a few modifications to create yet another easy fun fold card. So you're going to start with a piece of balmy blue cardstock cut at 5.5 by 8.5 inches. Score the 8.5-inch side at 4¼ inches to create the base of the card. Next, you're going to cut off a 1 by 5.5-inch piece from the front of the balmy blue cardstock. We are going to use this piece to create the fun fold section. Score this little piece of cardstock in the middle at 2¾ inches. Cut a 5¼ by 4-inch piece of white cardstock. Then cut a 2 by 5¼ inch piece of patterned paper and adhere it to the right side of the white cardstock. Then go ahead and embellish the white side of the cardstock with a few flowers cut from the patterned paper. Now take that 1 by 5.5-inch piece of balmy blue cardstock, the one that you cut off the front of the card and scored in the middle. We are going to be adhering half of it to the white cardstock, and the other half of this piece will wrap around to the front of the card when we are done. So fold the cardstock piece in half and add some adhesive to the inside section of one of the halves. Take the balmy blue cardstock piece and slide it onto the side of the white cardstock so that the adhesive is facing the back of the white cardstock piece. Position that 1-inch piece so that it's in the middle of the pattern paper. Then once you have it positioned, press the flaps together. Now the flap with the adhesive will be secured to the back of the white cardstock, and the flap in the front will be free for us to decorate. So now go ahead and adhere the entire piece of white cardstock to the inside of the card. Now open up that flap on the inside of the card and then go ahead and close the card. Now fold that flap back and it should be resting on your card front. Okay, let's finish decorating it. Cut 2 rectangular shapes for the front of the card from a piece of white cardstock. So these shapes measure 2.5 by 3 5/8 inches, and the other one is 2 by 3 1/8 inch. And again, you can also use the Stitch So Sweetly layering dies to create these two pieces. Stamp a sentiment on the bottom part of the white cardstock piece. Add a bit of adhesive to the front of the balmy blue flap. Now line up the large rectangular shape on the front of the card and press it onto that adhesive that's on the flap. Cut a 2 1/8 by 3 1/4 inch piece of patterned paper and adhere it to the back of the rectangular shape. This will secure that fun fold flap in place. Embellish the large white rectangular shape with a little umbrella image and some small flowers cut from a piece of the Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. Open up the flap and add the smaller white rectangular piece in the center of the card front. This piece will not be visible until the card is opened. Then for the finishing touch, embellish the white piece with a little umbrella image and some flowers cut from a piece of the Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. Okay, so there you go. Now you have 2 easy fun fold cards you can make with pretty much any supplies you have on hand. And if you enjoyed these card ideas, feel free to download the printable tutorial. You can find the link in the description below this video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking it and sharing it with your friends. And leave me a comment below to let me know what you enjoyed most about the video and the cards shared here today. Have a fun and creative day, my friends. Take care.